We are following breaking news on CBS News Colorado. A jury has reached a verdict in the King Soopers shooting trial. That jury finding Ahmad Alissa guilty on all 55 charges that he faced, including 10 counts of first-degree murder. The other counts included several counts of first-degree attempted murder, including some with extreme indifference. As you take a look on your screen there, you may remember that shooting took place on March 22nd of 2021. It was a long time coming in terms of the trial. There were several competency evaluations trying to figure out whether or not that suspect would indeed stand trial. He was found competent to stand trial. That trial began a couple of weeks ago and then was handed over to the jury on Friday afternoon. The jury deliberated for about 2 hours before breaking for the weekend. They got back to work in that Boulder courtroom, deliberating early this morning, and then reached a verdict just after noon this afternoon. We found out that a verdict was in at about 12:37 this afternoon. Your reporter Andrew Hobner joins us live now from Boulder. Andrew, you've been covering this case since it began, and you have the latest for us live from that courtroom, outside that courtroom in Boulder.
Michael, it was a crowded courthouse. It was a crowded courtroom, so much so that members of the press had to actually be put into the overflow room with some of the Boulder police officers and Boulder County sheriffs as well. Now, Judge Ingrid Baca did mention to everyone in that courtroom the necessity of decorum as the charges and the verdicts were read out. And because of that, you didn't get an extensive response, but probably the most demonstrative you could see anybody in the overflow room was when Eric Talley's specific verdict was read. That is the Boulder officer who was shot and killed during this shooting. When the jury did read guilty for him, you did hear a couple of officers say yes under their breath. A lot of wet and red eyes, a lot of officers trying to hold in emotions after what was an extremely emotional day in 2021 and an extremely emotional process leading into this court case. That wasn't to decide whether or not Ahmad Alissa committed these acts, but it was whether or not he was considered mentally sane at the time of the shooting. The jury seemed to believe that he was, being guilty on all 55 counts, ranging from attempted first-degree murder to first-degree murder, as well as the ownership of a high-capacity magazine for the rifle that he used in that shooting as well. There's going to be plenty of reaction from victims' families, from District Attorney Michael Dougherty. As we get out of the courtroom, we are being told as well that it is not just a verdict we are going to be getting today. We have also been told that there is going to be a sentencing today as well for Ahmad Alissa. So we'll find out exactly what Judge Ingrid Baca has in mind after these 55 guilty counts that we have heard and are continuing to hear in the courtroom as we speak. But an extremely difficult situation, an extremely difficult process for the victims' families, for what they've had to go through since that fateful day in 2021. A morning, as District Attorney Michael Dougherty said in his opening statements, was a morning just like any other, but one that for family members of those lost during that day, they will remember for the rest of their lives as a tragedy that changed the way that they live and the way that they see things moving forward. And for Ahmad Alissa's family as well, even on the stand, his mother Khadija discussing how there were signs that she missed, saying to the district attorney Michael Dougherty over and over, my son is sick, and my son was sick during that time. And so a family having to process through what could have been missed, what was missed leading up to the shooting that somebody in their family perpetrated, and then on the victim's side, a differing, conflicting feeling, if you will, about this judgment, the guilty verdict, but also the understanding that that verdict is not bringing back anybody as well, and that there is a degree of closure that is received from something like this, as well as what the sentencing will be, but also the fact that that grief is something that these victims are going to be living with for the rest of their lives. Their families, at least, are going to be living with for the rest of their lives as well. We're going to stand by outside the courtroom to talk with victim families, with DA Dougherty, whoever else comes out of the courtroom. I will say it was a packed courtroom. Victims' families filled out, I would say, probably 80% of the courtroom itself, and then there were I would wager 4 dozen or so Boulder County sheriffs, as well as Boulder police officers, members of EMTs and fire that were also here on hand to hear these verdicts as well. But something that occurred in 2021 and really changed the way that some people look at Boulder, the way that people look at Table Mesa and that area, that King Soopers specifically, is now coming to a close, and now a new chapter of a very sad story begins.
Andrew Hobner live in Boulder for us today. Andrew, thank you. We know you'll have more coverage throughout the afternoon on CBS News Colorado and on our website, cbscolorado.com. Again, we do want to recap. Ahmad Alissa, the Boulder King Soopers shooter, found guilty on 55 charges today, including 10 counts of first-degree murder. As Andrew mentioned, that sentencing expected soon. We're hearing at 2:15. We will find out the sentencing for Ahmad Alissa, so we will have more on this decision and on that sentencing throughout the day, both on air and online at cbscolorado.com.